Who better than me?
Welcome back to the Hardcore Casual with your boy, Base the Kid. It was a pretty quiet week for boxing, like overall, but there were some very interesting fights that did take place. Shout outs to probably the sleeper of the weekend, which was Oscar Rivas versus Ryan Rozicki in Canada on, what was that, Friday evening, which is what early Saturday morning for us over here. Now that fight, I watched it after it took place. I didn't actually get the fight on Fight app. Uh, £15 for the one fight. I didn't think it was gonna be worth it. In hindsight, I was wrong because that was a very entertaining. Well, I was about to say heavyweight scrap, Bridgerweight, over the £200 limit. And yeah, imagine we've got the first ever undisputed Bridgerweight champion of the world. Who would have ever thought that Oscar Rivas would be an undisputed champion before Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk? Like it's that when you're looking at various people, that's not the name that you think of. But hey, congrats to him. Ryan Rozicki showed a lot of heart. He came in only just over the £200 limit. He's a natural cruiserweight. I think he came in at like £203 or something like that. 202. Them old school Rocky Balboa weights. And Oscar Rivas, I think, came in at like 222 or 223, so just underneath the limit. Now Oscar said, once he kind of dropped some of the extra weight he had to put on for heavyweight, he'd be faster and like quicker, better gas tank, more power. That wasn't the case, because even though he had Rozicki really hurt at the end of the first round, he was pretty much breathing mouth wide open from the third round on. So he's definitely got to improve his gas tank. Like Rozicki was literally just applying pressure on him pretty much for the whole fight, staying on his chest, not allowing him to gain extension on his punches. And it was a very great performance, and he's definitely now sort of rose his stock in whatever division he chooses to fight in. If he goes back down to cruiserweight, he's got some really good fights going on down there. If he stays at Bridgerweight, well, technically, I guess since there's only one belt, well, yeah, I suppose you could still fight other people at Bridgerweight to then try and challenge for the title again. Or if he campaigns at heavyweight, maybe with some of the other divisions, he'd be a good opponent for some people. But he's definitely announced himself, and I'm hoping that he can segue that good performance into better performances and better paydays and that moving on. Last but not least, I'll talk quickly about Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson last night. It's a very, very good performance from Shakur Stevenson. Normally has been criticised for being a bit boring, a bit reactionary, just waiting for people to sort of come to him so that he can pick shots off and basically sort of like just, pitter pat his way to certain victories in his last couple of fights. But on this occasion, I don't know if it's because he was fighting someone who was basically the exact opposite in terms of both of them being southpaws. So he was fighting a stylistically natural fight, if that makes sense. Because obviously you have orthodox and orthodox. You're always fighting with the same stance set forward. Whereas obviously southpaw to orthodox, like you're both fighting, it's like a mirror version of each other. Maybe that gave him the opportunity to get his punches off a bit quicker, to be able to sort of not have to worry about the lead hand as much. But he was definitely a lot more aggressive, a lot more spiteful in shots. It was a lot more entertaining than he's been recently. And if he produces performances like that moving forward, then his stock and value within the division will definitely rise. So shout out to him. Also, big shout out to Jamel Herring, because even though technically it was a TKO, like he wasn't knocked out, he didn't quit. Like the referee chose to stop the fight. He wasn't that happy with it, but obviously it's like, I think he just kind of realized that the young lion's got it this time. So I'll pass that torch on to him. Um, there was no real bad blood between the two of them. A lot of it was just rivalry, trash talk, and stuff. But they back to being friends and family and whatnot, and the gyms and everything back close to each other, except for the Herring's wife. Yeah, she's carrying the same energy. Like I saw pictures after the fight. She was not happy with Shakur, and even though Shakur tried to apologize, she's just still looking at man like, no, you can still get it anytime. So she's definitely ride or die, and I appreciate that. I appreciate any woman that is like that for their man, and yeah, salute to her as well. But overall, like I said, two really good fights. I didn't get a chance to check the undercard. I was out all last night, and I'm feeling it right now. I don't know how I made it home, if I'm totally honest with you, but here we are. Yeah. So over, I guess we roll on next week. Now, obviously, we don't have no Dillian White Otto Valim fight, but the O2 is still gonna be a fairly fun place to be. I wasn't. I was not going to go initially, but I've decided that I'm still gonna head down there because there's probably see a bunch of people um, taking the vibes. I want to check out, see what Craig Richards does after the Bivol fight. I want to see how he comes back. I'm trying to get down there to see my Blue Borough compatriot Ellie Scottney on the card. So hopefully I can catch her fight live as well. But if not, I'll catch up with her afterwards. I'm sure she'll be in and around the ringside for the rest of the event. And I'm definitely very interested in Chantel Cameron and Mary McGee, because that's a very, very good fight. A very underrated fight as well. And official predictions not quite in yet, but I would not be sleeping on Mary McGee for that fight. I need to do a couple little bits. I might drop a predictions video later on in the week just for the entire card and anything else that might be happening on that day. I need to double check the rest of the schedule. But for now, short and sweet. Like and subscribe. Please share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And Hardcore Casual out.